Hello, my loves. It's good to talk to you again. You know, I've been talking to you for a couple of days about the fact that we tried to bring our children back into circle all the time because that would retune them to being their calmest, best self. And one of the tools that we used almost every day that I want to talk to you about today is called turkey circles. I know that's silly, but it worked so well. So the idea, and I start out by total apology to turkeys because I raised turkeys and I actually became personally close to some of them. But my children did not like the turkeys at all because there were a few that would just chase them and scare them. And so anytime somebody was scaring them or being obnoxious, they would call a turkey circle. And here's how that worked. If somebody was not being their best self, and we had painted on our living room wall, nobody is a turkey for the fun of it. And if somebody being less than their best selves, one of the children, and it could be anybody, it didn't have to be an adult, one of the children would just go up to them and say, "You're acting like a turkey. There must be some reason." If the child who was initiating this was feeling confident, they'd say, "Did you feel left out this morning when we were talking about so-and-so?" Or, "Are you feeling like so-and-so doesn't love you? Or are you feeling like you might get in trouble here?" And if the kid could say, "Yeah, that's it," then it was fine, and the initiator of the conversation would hug them and love them. But if the child who was being spoken to, and I want to say sometimes it was an adult, sometimes the children would choose an adult and say, "You're being a turkey right now. Why are you being impatient with us? Or why are you being so stubborn about this when it's not the real thing?" But anyway, if the person who was being asked the question couldn't think of what was going on, then several of the kids would come over and surround the kid or the person who was being intense and start to gobble at them. And they would just gobble all around them and play with them and say, "Come over here and let us gobble with you." And so we would all form a circle, as many of us as happened to be around. And somebody would say, and it might have been me, but it could have been anybody, somebody would say, "You know, you're usually very kind and very patient and very sweet, so there must be something that's upsetting you." And so we would wait until the child could figure it out, or the person, and if they couldn't figure it out themselves, we would bring up possibilities. And then as soon as the person got they would start gobbling, and they would go around and gobble on each other's neck or gobble really close to them, and just till we were all laughing so hard that we couldn't stop. And so we didn't have to have serious circles very often because gobbling was much more fun. I hope this works for you.